Adin Ross's black friend is the real problem.
I want to make that very clear. I'm out of my own business like that. She came at me very first. And you guys can say it wasn't intended to you. It was. Complex posted that. These major PR places, they have a whole PR team chat. They tell Complex what to post. That was a PR hit piece against me. Facts. Chat, you guys know because you guys are into the clipping world. So all these little dumb old heads, it wasn't towards that white boy.
Can you please stop talking about Doechii while I'm in the camera? They're calling me a They think everything's about race, my nigga. Like,
said Adin Ross and anyone who support the racially motivated bullshit he be on. Dude, this race shit is blowing me, bro. This race shit is blowing me, bro. Like, niggas talking about Adin Ross like he Gypsy Crusader. Like, why all these niggas not tweeting out about Gypsy? That's the real racist. Like, Gypsy Crusader is the real racist. Like, why is nigga, like, I'm so confused, bro. This is retarded, bro.
If you're familiar with the streaming community, Kick in particular, you've probably heard the name Cuffem. You most likely saw him before knowing who he was, mainly from him going viral for being the most chopped streamer in the game today, to the point where the very sight of him is the definition of scaring the huzz.
Hello? Hello. Oh my god, bro, get that off my screen! Shut up!
On top of that, he's probably the most toxic, saying and doing the wildest stuff on stream and has grown a community from it. So how did he get here? Cuffem started his streaming career on Twitch in 2019, playing NBA 2K19 in a competitive scene. He would meet longtime friend Adin Ross in the 2K community, who basically changed his life. Delegated to a side character when Adin blew up in 2021, Cuffem wouldn't let this opportunity slip and became even more consistent, being featured in segments with Adin and other friends in a group called SSB, or Stacy Stepbros, a reference to Adin's ex-girlfriend. And this allowed him to build a community of his own known as BAU, or Belt to Ass University, or Black and Ugly if you ask different people. This is due to his ability to entertain an audience by saying or doing anything that came to mind, no matter if it was controversial. Something we would see as the years pass. About the many occasions that he would whip people on stream, pretending he's a slave master and calling them slurs.
Sit down real quick. Somebody, I got somebody that want to talk to you.
Kick just lets anything go on as long as they're getting traffic.
Who next?
Now let's talk about the Kai situation. When Adin and Kai had their beef, which was started with Adin's ex-manager Tav calling Kai the N-word, Cuffem of course sided with Adin in the situation, saying that he would quote-unquote slime people out for Adin.
Now just want to shit on Adin Ross. Stop doing that shit before the Reaper come out at night.
What's up, word? Your boy Challz Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapps to CLBMG. Join the membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So, I was given a crash course in a random black guy that I saw sitting beside Adin Ross. Once this thing kicked off, I really don't know a lot about these guys, gang. I'm just going to be honest, but I am in the middle of this because this is my job now at this point, to just point out nonsense and tomfoolery in this business, this entertainment world. And what I learned, I was literally scrolling Twitter and a clip came up of Adin Ross once again going at Doechii once again. We already had this conversation of why that's bad, right? But Adin Ross still is confused. He thinks it's because we didn't know that he goes at white women too. We didn't know that he's an equal opportunity asshole. And for some reason, he doesn't get it. He thinks that it always resorts to race. So when I saw this clip of him sitting beside his many black friends, apparently the ones that Glasses Malone said, I'm going to start pressing your friends that's around you, right? I believe this is one of the guys he was referring to. So I see the clip, I stop and I watch it. And there's a black guy, but before Adin Ross finished talking, I showed in the beginning, he starts to say, don't talk about Doechii like that around me because they're calling me a coon, right? So end of the day, I'm like, who is this guy right here? Because he's kind of making fun of it. He's kind of making a light of the situation, and he's kind of joking. So this must be one of them black friends that allegedly hang around Adin Ross. So I went on a crash course, gang. Let's just be honest. Me and a lot of people that are like me, we're not in this streamer world. We don't know what these streamers do, and we damn sure don't know their names unless they break through like a Cashapp or I Show Speed. That's probably, I can name probably 5 of them. I get one hand, that's probably, you can't get 10 of them on me. out of me, right? Unless you're gonna let me go backwards and get like older guys like PewDiePie or something like that. But these younger guys, I'm not gonna know who you are, gang. So end of the day, I'm just hearing about Cuffem literally yesterday when they said that there was a diss song to Doechii featuring Adin Ross, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and a guy named Cuffem, right? I didn't see the guy, I didn't watch the video, but I heard the name Cuffem. I'm like, okay, I guess there's a guy out there named Cuffem for whatever reason, this, that, and the third. When I saw this video clip on Twitter, right after that video went off, another one came up with this Cuffem guy in his own space talking about they're always making things about race. Why they always got to make things about race? I'm like, oh, here we go. This is the problem. This is one of them young guys who want everything to just be honky-dory. They want everything to just be, oh man, let's just all get along. I don't see color. One of these guys is like, okay, let me research what's going on with this kid right here. His name is Cuffem. Easy. Should be easy to find out everything I need to know. So I go on Twitter. I go on YouTube, and there you have it. A guy named JBM Fargo. Salute to JBM Fargo it's a pretty good living right now. Either you're going to cover rappers or cover streamers or both. But there are people who are in that streaming world really heavy and they cover streamers. Kind of like The Stop when he covers everything Joe Budden podcast does. So JBM Fargo is one of those guys and he covers these guys heavily. He did a video on Cuffem and he called them the most toxic streamer Kasana can't escape, right? So I'm like, okay, so the word toxic, it raised my antennas. I'm like, let me find out more. See, but the problem with what's going on with this with this Adin Ross thing is a lot of these people have blurred the lines with what's right, what's wrong, because they get paid to. Right? When you're growing up in this world right now, you get to do a lot of things that we weren't able to do. These guys get to say a lot of things that we weren't able to say. Not on live TV. Right now, live TV to them is live streams. That is the equivalent of live TV. They don't watch live TV no more. They watch streamers for hours. A streamer could just be doing nothing, have girls come in, girls come out. They're rolling up, doing this, that, and the third, just talking nonsense. This is these kids' live TV. So this guy Cuffem and Adin Ross and the others, right? All of them are the equivalent of live TV, but they get paid to do so, right? They're not always playing games. They're just talking shit sometimes. Sometimes they're just doing something ridiculous, outrageous, just to get views and clicks and people to come into their chat and donate money, right? So when I went down this rabbit hole of Cuffem and Adin Ross, and as I start to, I already know what is going on with these younger generation that they don't see things the way we did. When I started to go down this rabbit hole of who Cuffem is, I understood that it's worse than I thought, gang. It's actually worse than you think. These kids, gang, this guy, I'm just going to be honest, I know why he does it. They get a lot of money and there's a lot of things on the line, but this guy is literally what you call a degenerate. I'm just going to be honest. And what I'm seeing is they don't care. They don't care what they don't care what they say. They don't care what they do. And this guy Cuffem is one of the top degenerates in the whole degenerate army. When I'm watching him, I'm like, I know that this kid was one of the kids that used to be dragged to the principal's office, right? This is not a straight A kid. I'm just going to be honest. This looked like one of them kids that every other day he was getting written up, getting some kind of slip to say, go see the principal, something. His mom coming to the school. But they reward these kind of kids now. Right? These are the kids that are leading this streamer thing. I'm just going to be honest. You can't not be one of these kids and be a successful streamer these days. You got to kind of be obnoxious, weird, strange, really kind of over the top. Stuff that people can't say around their own parents. They want to sit there and watch you say it. Right? They throw the N-words around like TikToks. It's insane. And that's why these companies are letting up on what you can and cannot say. YouTube just announced they're going to stop really demonetizing you as much for the cursing, right? You were supposed to wait a certain amount of time before you said a curse word. They said they're lifting that because they got to compete with Kick. The streaming service Kick lets these kids say any and everything. And this guy Cuffem, he flourishes on Kick because you can say almost anything without any repercussions because that's what Kick was set up for, right? Kick was set up to be you could do whatever because that was really basically set up so they can do the gambling streams without any repercussion. That's where the whole stake and situation with the lawsuit of Drake and Adin Ross stems from is that they were gambling on Kick. Now, Kick is set up for that, but they don't put regulations on much of nothing because they want it to be open air, and what happens is more kids come over because it's more reckless. You can't do what you can do on Kick over there on Twitch. This guy is a Kick streamer. When someone is a Kick streamer, it's pretty much anything goes over there. So this guy Cuffem, as I start to watch homeboy JBM's video, I started to learn that he's really close friends with Adin Ross to the point that Adin Ross put him on and a couple other guys, right? And if I don't know why, for some reason, I'm not even gonna say all of them, but I noticed that Adin Ross throws on a lot of black streamers, right? For whatever reason, these young guys, I don't know if all of them are like this, just over the top, obnoxious, just unrealistic view of the world, the way they talk to each other and the way they talk to people, and they're always beefing and they always got something weird going on. But it seems that he surrounds himself with this kind of person. And in that world, this is talent, right? Saying the N-word over and over and showing guns and just being very ridiculous and showing lean on. He got banned off of, I believe it was Twitch twice for showing him making cups of lean and this, that, and the third. So it's like everything, every offensive behavior, this guy's involved with it. And somehow that's a talent to Adin Ross and these people. So Adin Ross surrounds himself with these guys. And these guys make money doing this, right? And Cuffem is one of them. So as I start to learn that him and Adin Ross are really good friends, but one of the really good friends things is that he gets money with Adin Ross. Now, here we go with the whole situation of why do you guys got to put race in everything? This guy don't want nothing about race because then he would have to answer, why is he beside this white guy talking shit about this black girl? Okay? So now we're seeing that, all right, before we even get there, we have many incidents of this guy not caring what Adin Ross has said, not caring what he's done. He defended him in every turn. So it doesn't matter what he does because Adin Ross can do no wrong. So this is the problem right here. He's never going to check him. And there is videos of him checking. I might throw the clip in there where he's checking him saying, yo, don't talk about her, whatever, the queen, whatever. He's being funny, facetious. But end of the day, he low-key, he's pretending to try to defend her, but at the end of the day, it's not enough. For one, we could clearly tell that you don't really care. You don't care to defend the girl. You don't care about what this guy's saying. You get money with her. And I want to blame it on, these young kids don't think like we think, which is true. But at the same time, then you're going to say, well, Challz, ain't Charlamagne sitting beside Andrew Schultz every goddamn day? Ain't both of them in their 40s? And don't Andrew Schultz do the same goddamn thing that you're saying Adin Ross is doing? He's aligned himself with the same people, all the same people that have the same racist tropes that he spews, right? I wonder what this guy, some of these kids don't have the mental capacity to understand when Adin Ross says something like, I know you got baby mamas, I know you got multiple kids, go take care of your kids. That is a racist trope. But I'm not sure that a guy like this wants to know what that actually insinuates or does or even cares, because at this point, we kind of like lost these kids with this thing, gang. Like right now, like my kids, they grew up on YouTube. A lot of kids grew up on YouTube. A lot of this stuff, believe it or not, was already in YouTube before this. They just did it at a lower level. They didn't do it this weird and this outrageous. But all of these racist undertones were always there, and these kids just had to navigate it and learn to live with it, right? So at some point, they became desensitized to it. And not only that, they started to believe that, okay, they see this streamer, that streamer, this black guy, that guy, black guy. They kind of go with the flow and they become famous too. So it seems like everything is equal. If he can, all he has to do is work hard and he could just be just as good as the white guy. And they start to believe that we all start on even ground. So what are you bitching about this black stuff? That's why this kid can say, these guys want to make everything about race. These old heads always talking about race. Well, this thing with Doechii and Adin Ross is racial. It is a racial thing, and I know they want to dumb it down and make it like, well, I talk about girls, white girls, this and that and the third. You shouldn't be proud of that either, gang. Like you're almost like, I think Adin Ross is about to be 26 years old, right? You're not a little kid. You're not a kid that can say, well, I only said that when I was 14. No, you're saying it now. And you're bragging about, yo, I said it about this girl, that girl. I call all girls bitches, and so this is what you're portraying. This is what you want out into the world. This is what you want your chat. And that's the thing. The chat is as young as him, if not younger. A lot of these are little kids, 13, 14 years old. So they have no concept of what's right and wrong when it comes to talking. Well, some of them do. I'm not gonna say all of them don't. But end of the day, you're saying, okay, he's talking to Akademiks. It says, if I told them, I say the same thing about other girls too. It's not just because she's black. First of all, the way we're looking at it, we're not here for them other girls. That has nothing to do. I'm not here for whatever these girls that you're talking about. They have nothing to do with what we're talking about. The simple fact of the matter is, we're asking you, Glasses Malone and people like myself, we're looking at, this is not the first racist thing you've done. They got a video right now where they're showing you coming at different black girls, this, that, and the third. And I know it's for content. You got to understand it's two different worlds. The content world, anything goes. Right? Whether it come, most of the shocking content, when they say anything goes, most of it's going to be racist stuff. Right? It's just a fact. Most of it's going to be racist or really obnoxious behavior where it's borderline like, all right, enough is enough. That's what's going to sell in this world. Because you got to entertain little kids that have sense of humor that are immature. So the immature things that they say and do, that's what's going to rule in this world. Kai Cenat, and I'm sorry, Cuffem and Adin, and Kai Cenat and Adin Ross, this, that, and the third. They're going to do really childish things to maintain that audience that's in that chat saying this, that, and the third, right? The chat is just as toxic, if not more toxic than the person on the screen. So they got to up the ante every single time they go live. So now you got this guy Cuffem who's on here talking about why these old heads always bringing it back to race. Well, for one, I'm older. I am an old head. I kind of actually know what the shit is about. I kind of actually know why you shouldn't be letting a white guy call a black girl a stupid bitch. All right, so let me just start there. YN, so he like I guess being kind of I want to say conscious of racial undertones and outright racism kind of makes me an out of touch old head. And why you guys always making things about race? So if I gotta explain that to you, we failed somewhere. If I gotta explain to Cuffem, right, somewhere down the line, somebody dropped the ball. Somebody get this kid, show him roots, show him something, right? With 12 years a slave, show him something. Right? And shame on you adults that said a couple years ago you were tired of these slave movies. Welcome to the real world, because then you get Cuffem when you ain't never seen one. Right? So at the end of the day, I watched it when I was a kid. I grew up on this. I was very steeped in this culture, in this life. Right? I told you I went to Malcolm X Elementary School. I watched Roots when I was like fucking 8, 6, 7, 8, one of them days. And at the end of the day, I had a full learning of what it means to be black in this culture and how things don't always, definitely ain't going your way for the most part. And anybody that rises up is in spite of what they're trying to do. So for this kid to think because he made a name for himself being the most obnoxious MF on this goddamn online. He's one of the top 5 because I sat there, I told you I did a crash course. And this kid's awful, right? This kid does his brand of entertainment, and I get it. I can laugh with the best of them. The shock value shit don't faze me, don't scare me. I watched a lot of shit coming up, South Park and a lot of shit. So you just like a bad knockoff of really, really good comedy, right? But at the end of the day, I see this kid for what it is, and it's just really not that. It's not that impressive to me. And for him to think that this is cool, it is. I can't really say to these kids what they think is cool and what's not cool. But at the end of the day, to sit here all day, and yes, some of it has comedic value, some of it's funny, but for the most part, you're pretending to be a slave owner and you're whipping people, you're pulling out guns online and you're trolling people and you're going into these chat rooms and stirring up all this shit. Like when you watch this guy, when I watched this thing, I was like, bro, this dude really needs some serious psychological help. But that's what they want you to believe, because at the end of the day, they have to actually get people in those chats that's going to be just as immature and going to want to see the shit. Right? This is one of the guys in the school where you kind of like moved out the way when they came. Let's just gonna be honest, right? It's just a fact. At the end of the day, you got kids that they built for this because in the real world, it wouldn't be really that good for them. Right? This guy wouldn't really. I don't know if he would flourish in this real world the way he carries himself on this thing. Gang, it's a long history of stuff that's really, really not cool that this kid is doing on this internet. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting here trying to sound like no old head or whatever, preachy or whatever. Do your thing, get your money. But at the end of the day, the reason he won't condemn Adin Ross or anybody else in regards to this thing for saying these things to a different race is because he gets money with him. So he's defended this guy in other racist incidents. So, end of the day, he's going to ride with him, whatever, and this is the problem. He doesn't understand why it's wrong, doesn't care. He's riding with Adin and put out a gun online and said, I'll split somebody's head open for this guy. I'll do whatever for this guy. If I see you rolling up on Adin Ross, I'm going to take you right out of here. This is literally what he said. Now, I know I'm bringing it to you in a serious old head way where it could be tongue-in-cheek. It didn't look like it, right? Didn't look like he was joking. Didn't look like he was playing the game. At the end of the day, it looked like, yo, I'll splatter one of you niggas, right? For my guy Adin. And that's the problem. He takes no accountability. Now we got Glass Malone over here fighting with Whack 100 and all these different people. AD and all these other guys. I'm learning in real time that these guys only care about who can get them the content that they want. And I don't know why people don't understand that. Everybody say, yo, Glasses Malone is crashing out, da-da-da. Well, did y'all ever think that Glasses is making content? Maybe he's playing their game. Maybe he's beating them at their own game. He's got his brand up, his name up, his numbers up. So maybe, yeah, he's saying this, that, and the third. But I've seen these West Coast dudes do the same thing, be like, it's content, homie. So nobody's thinking about Glasses might be doing this for content, too. right? And he's beating them at his own game, and he's getting paid to do it. So I don't know why everybody wants you to chill out. Like Akademiks are like, yo, chill out on Adin because, you know, he keeps cops around, he keeps security, you might get killed, this, that, and the third. Maybe Glasses has no intentions of actually physically harming this guy. We just saw Absol sit there and threaten Akademiks and then said, nah, I ain't really even mad at him. He good, right? We see these guys all the time, and then they see each other, and they talk it out, they shake hands, right? I tell you all the time, Casanova, when he finally saw Akademiks, he's going to do this, that, and the third. When he saw Akademiks, they talk, and they shook hands. And they was all good from that point on. So it don't have to be that he dies because he's saying something about Adin Ross, right? End of the day. So what we're seeing is Glasses Malone is standing up for a woman that is being attacked, literally being attacked by a man for really no reason. Well, we know the real reason. He's a Drake fan. And the Drake fans, the OVO fans, have decided that they don't like nothing out of TDE, and they especially can't stand her. For some reason, they hate this girl more than they hate Kendrick, they Top, and all these other motherfuckers. They give this girl more, they got more mouth for this girl than Top. Now, let's just be honest. I don't think Adin would be this disrespectful to Kendrick. I really don't. You can say what you want, because it'll be a lot of dudes like, really? Oh, really? Right? But this is what it is. They look at these women, I can talk to them crazy, I can devalue them because nobody's going to protect them. And guess what happened? His man sitting right beside him is making a joke of it. This guy's a black guy. They don't understand. Like, yo, we got it. Who supposed to protect them if we don't? There's a long lineage of history where these guys have abused these women in every kind of way, fashion, and form, and then made them feel like they were less than. When you're coming in there abusing them in every single possible way, on the work site, at home, in the public, these women are getting devalued and abused by these guys on a regular basis. Who's going to protect them if it ain't you? And I see these guys that came in my comments, OVO fans, Drake fans, came in my comments. I put the video up on my Twitter, right? As usual, some Drake fan is upset. Didn't have nothing to do with Drake. It said Adin Ross is a scumbag. Nothing to do with Drake, but they know who I am, so they come in to my shit anyway, right? Motherfucker goes, oh, why don't you talk about how Doechii hates black men? Why don't you say that? Da-da-da. End of the day, she said something about straight men are red flags. First of all, I took it as a joke. Second of all, a lot of you niggas is red flags. So what the fuck we talking about? A lot of you niggas is trash, right? So at the end of the day, the simple fact of the matter is a lot of y'all motherfuckers is trash. And at the end of the day, you want me to treat you like a man, but you go out here unequivocally, don't defend nobody like a man should do. You don't defend no one. I see these guys all day. They're posting about Drake and this, that, and the third. These motherfuckers love Drake more than they love anybody else on earth. And Adin Ross. So I'm like, I'm supposed to treat you like a fucking man. You think so? Nah, you a red flag, my G. End of the day. So I don't care about none of that shit. End of the day, I'm not going to sit there and pick and choose who to defend. But that's what these guys have been doing for the last 10 years, for some reason, 15 years, for some reason, since the advent of the internet. These guys are picking and choosing who to say, okay, don't do that to. And really, they haven't picked nobody to support. They have not picked one woman. Gang, I want you guys to do me a favor. All you guys that go online and you're this, that, and the third, you're tough and da-da-da. All this shit we talking about, I want you to show me one time, the one professional, famous woman that you've defended. Most of these guys will not defend none of them. They'll find a reason for them to be a bitch or something, right? Oh, they got a reason. They don't like this one. They don't like that one. All of them have a reason to be disrespected, but they never found one that they could say, not her. Right? It's never not her. It's always something. She said something back in 1944. It's always something. So at the end of the day, these motherfuckers gonna find a way to sit back and agree with a motherfucker that's openly racist. He has openly racist people on his platform. He says openly racist shit. But you'll go, and under my exact post that I told you on Twitter, these motherfuckers going crazy at me, black people telling me to mind my fucking business. Right? Old head, this, that, and the third. So that's what it is right now. It's like the old heads we out of touch and we don't know what's going on, what's really happening. Adin Ross ain't doing nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing. I said some black girl wrote in my shit. I stand with Adin, black girl. Right? Then I went to a profile. Guess what? Drake fan, Nicki fan. So it's like these motherfuckers, they don't care what your color is. If they like that artist, then they'll let you do whatever. Right? So now Adin Ross is riding with Drake. So guess what? He does no wrong. So slap that bitch. They don't give a fuck. So this is where we at now. People would do anything for, it's a fandom, right? The leader got this video. Y'all might should go watch it. I believe it's about super fans or some shit. I can't remember. Paranoia, parasocials, right? He got a whole video, and it's very interesting because it breaks down what people are doing now, where they beyond fans and they on some other shit. And what we're seeing in real time is these people, they have no allegiance except to the people who they've decided are above everyone. So they can come in a room, full of black people, shoot the whole room up. Doesn't matter. If they on my team, they must have had a reason, and them black people deserved it. That's how crazy it's getting. So this guy right here, Cuffem, he's one of them people. He's attached himself to Adin Ross. He's making no uncertain terms that there is nothing Adin Ross can do to make him check him for any reason. He'll pretend to sit there and check him while he's on his phone doing something else. Oh, man, don't say that. Oh, man, little shit. And then he go back to his phone because he doesn't care. He doesn't really care, but he doesn't really have to because he gets paid to be this kind of person just as obnoxious as anybody else. This motherfucker just made a rap song. They dissing he dissing Lil TJ or some shit, and Tekashi is dissing fucking Lil Durk, and Adin Ross is, of course, dissing Doechii, right? Nobody cares about the song. They just kidding. He's dissing Doechii. And this motherfucker called this girl, you still beside him, while he called her a bitch several times. He called her a bitch over and over and over. At what point is enough enough? Like, how many times do we need to call her a bitch before you're like, bro, chill out? But I get it. This guy, you gotta understand what this guy deals with. This guy Cuffem. The girls don't like him. They call him ugly, so he goes in all these damn chat rooms. And at this point, it's a gag. But they immediately swipe out of the chat room as soon as he comes in. So this motherfucker don't like women anyway. So we're looking at a young boy that got money in the most weirdest way ever, because there's no way you're going to tell somebody, yeah, you can make millions doing streaming. That's not a thing. That's some shit that happens to very few people. Just be honest. That's not a real profession that people can count on long term. You can't go to school for that. There is no, you can go to constant streaming school all you want. You're not going to be a streamer if it's not in the cards for you. That's not a job that you could just walk in and apply for and start getting paid. So this guy, above all that, got a white guy to tap, or a Jewish guy, like they want to say. I'm not white, I'm Jewish, right? Like Adin Ross said. So a Jewish guy tapped him, so he's going to forever be grateful for that and going to be tap dancing for this guy the rest of his life. He doesn't care anything about his race, how we were. Listen, I could go on and on about what's going on with this racial thing, and no, we don't want to make everything race until it is. And this is racial. End of the day, it's not racial just because a white man talking about a black woman. It's racial because the way he's talking about it, at some point, we got to step in and say, okay, bro, we chill out. And for him not chilling out, calling Whack 100, and these people making waves in their own city just to defend him, is weird. We have no solidarity anymore. We don't stand on anything. And that's the thing. Adin Ross don't stand for nothing. Cuffem don't stand for nothing. None of these guys, and Whack 100 don't really stand for nothing either, except for game politics, right? End of the day, we're seeing guys who got roped into this world of streaming. There's a lot of money there, and they do not want to burn no bridges. Whack 100 will do everything in his power but defend somebody against Adin Ross, because Adin Ross is a quick way to get it back, just like Adam 22. If it wasn't for this streaming shit, Whack 100 would not speak to these guys. He wouldn't have nothing to do with them, but he gets a bag with him. So every day he picking up their calls as soon as he see the phone ring. It's called compromise, okay? These guys don't care. Just like Charlamagne, he's riding with Andrew Schultz. No matter what you say, he gets a bag with him. So he's already sold himself that I'm not going to be tripping off really much of nothing he says. And if he does say something a little too controversial, I'll address it and move on. So these guys really have a different mind frame. They're looking at this like, I'm not messing up my bag. And that's what this Cuffem kid is doing, just like everybody else. I can't even blame it on the kids. I can't say, oh, because he's 20, he's 22. That ain't even it, because we got plenty of examples of guys in their 40s doing the exact same thing. Back in my day, I'm going to assure you a lot more black men will be like, yo, don't disrespect that woman under no circumstances. And they keep talking about, yo, I got the security team, this and that. When I come through, I got 4 off-duty cops, 8 security, da-da-da. I don't know if Adin Ross know none of that shit matters when niggas really want to get you. Right? At some point, them 8 cops go home, the 8 security team, they're not there. At some point, you see all these dudes running in people's houses. It's a lot of ways to get somebody. I'm not saying they should, but I'm just saying they keep hiding behind this curtain like, yo, I got this and I'll take a private jet and all this shit. Like, dang, gang, they got the president when they wanted to get the president, gang. I'm just going to be honest. So at the end of the day, it ain't none of that. You need to watch yourself. And the problem is, we're not talking about violence. We're just asking you to chill out, understand what you're doing. But they can't stop, because then it'll ruin their reputation with the immature, goofy people that watch them. He has to keep it up. But the thing is, he's apologized to other streamers. That's the funny shit is, he won't apologize for this, but he's apologized to other people, right? And no one even asked him to apologize. They just asked him, yo, just watch what you say. Nobody even said don't talk about it. We just said watch what you say, and that's not even good enough. But it's all content. You gotta understand, they do things for content. And the simple fact of the matter is, when you're in a space like that, where the more outrageous you are, the more clicks and views you get, he's going to do it even more. He's going to ramp it up. He's going to test the waters, because he's right. Nobody has touched him. Nothing has happened to him. But at the end of the day, right now, I'm not even rooting for Glasses Malone to actually put his hands on him. I'm rooting for Glasses Malone to just use this nigga for the next year for content. Right? They can't. They hate that worse because they really hate people like me. We use the bubble bath rapper Drake. We've been using this guy for damn near 2 years. They hate it. Your whole channel, Drake. This whole shit, everything you do is about Drake. Yeah, nigga, I'll do this shit for another 10 years. I don't give a fuck about you or that nigga. End of the day. So it's like, what you want me to do? Cry about that? No, use the content for what it is. Make your money, Glasses. Right? You ain't got to crash out, do nothing. Don't send nobody to crash out. Don't ruin your reputation in these streets even for this shit. Because really, Adin Ross not worth it. Let's just be honest. He's not worth all this. This is way too much attention that this guy don't deserve. There's a lot of black people just learning about him that don't need to know. Because he doesn't care about our community. He doesn't care about these rappers he's using. He don't care about none of that shit. This guy stands for absolutely nothing. He turns on his own race. He doesn't care. This guy will stand with Kanye right now if he can get the interview. He already said that. So at the end of the day, we got to stop worrying about what people that don't stand on nothing. Cuffem stands for absolutely nothing. Adin Ross stands for nothing. Akademiks stands for nothing. WAC 100 stands for absolutely nothing. All these guys right now, they stand for content. We just podding, bro. All right? So at the end of the day, you got to understand what you're dealing with. They're not in our world. That's why I never heard of Cuffem. I never heard of most of I'm hearing about these guys after they do these erroneous things, and I'm sitting here learning about this shit just like you. Right? But at the same time, I stand with my race. A lot of these guys don't care about their race. Cuffem don't give two shits about his race. He looking at his numbers. Right? He'll attack a motherfucker from his own race before he do something to help him. Just gonna be honest, this motherfucker gonna cast him out neck every goddamn day for this, that, or the third. So you gotta understand, we got people that don't have your best interests at heart. You can't crash out. We're not gonna get played out of our position. They say don't let somebody block your blessings and do this, that, and the third, or take whatever you got coming to you good, and they sitting back laughing and you're sitting somewhere effed up. Don't. That's not what I would recommend to nobody. Glasses Malone. Use it for content. But I don't want to hear about you masked up and doing this, that, and the third, trying to get at Adin Ross. No, we're not doing that. And that's what Akademiks wants you to do. These motherfuckers want you to go somewhere, do some dumb shit, and get shot so they can laugh at you. Fucking Flacco and these motherfuckers. They all on board. They all in the same accord because they don't stand for absolutely nothing. So you trying to make them stand for something ain't going to be worth it either. Use them for content. I 100% approve this message for you to just use it for content. Do it every day. If you can get paid and get more subscribers, do it, because that's what you're really on here for. I see the gang members all the time. They'll do something for content with another gang member. They'll talk about it before they even go online. Make a whole agreement. Well, listen, I'm going to say this, then you're going to come back and say that, and then we're going to act like whatever. It's all planned out. It's for content, man. If you're going to get on these mics and get in this world with this YouTube shit, use it for what it is, man. I'm out of here. I ain't talking about this nigga no more. End of the day, man, this Cuffem shit, it shows you where these youth are at, and this is why they can come and attack me online for trying to protect somebody that's in my same race because they don't understand it and don't care. They think this shit's a level playing field. They think that everything goes in the name of content. And this guy right here, this Cuffem guy, he thinks that anything goes too because he's getting paid to be the most obnoxious kid in the class. He's getting paid to do shit that he would have got sent to the principal for back in the day. So he could just be really weird, really difficult, right? They switch sides in the middle of shit because it's all content. So now you got to understand what you're dealing with, and we got to take it with a grain of salt. Some of the stuff these motherfuckers will say is just to get eyes and ears. They got brands deals, they got sponsorships. They just want eyes and ears. And we're coming at it from, we're looking at it from a morality. They don't have no morals. You got to understand that. So all we can do is say our piece, keep it moving. We can't stop them. We can't try to kill them and do this, that, and the third. We just got to say our piece, get the knowledge out there that this is what we do, this is what we stand for. They don't stand for nothing. And that's why these kids follow them so much. We're not giving them no alternative. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens, man. Listen, I'm out of here. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live. Me, TJ, and Flares. We coming back this week. We will be discussing this 100%. All right? Get in the chat. Let us know. It's 9:15 on all 8 of my social media platforms. Also, we got a new song called This, That, off the What Project. It's on some real hip-hop game. Tap in. It's one of the best albums of the year. All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high-quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. black-yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard and put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.